I had the privilege of getting to know filmmaker George Escobar. Last November, he came to the Twin Cities and actually filmed parts of the Anita Dittman story, Trapped in Hitler's Cell, in my home, and I have been aware of his filmmaking, but not fully aware of the wonderful new film that's coming. It just came out here in recent days, Alone Yet Not Alone, and I wanted to take this segment of the program to introduce it and to encourage you to find a theater. It's a stunning film that I strongly endorse. George Escobar, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jan. Love to be on your show.
And I know you're a co-writer, co-director, co-producer for this film, and I became really aware of this film because of the controversy over the winter through the gal who everyone knows, Johnny Erickson Tata. She did the song for this film, and it was nominated for Best Original Song back in January. It was all withdrawn. What happened?
After the initial nomination, 2 weeks later, there was an announcement by the Academy president that they had decided to rescind the nomination, and everybody was puzzled. Why did that happen? Because I think the song, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's one of the best songs for any movie, primarily because it's the heart of the film itself is embedded in the song instead of tacked on. It was composed by Bruce Broughton, who is a Academy-nominated composer, so he just didn't come out of left field. He had done Silverado years back. He's won 10 Emmys for his composition, so clearly he was qualified to do this composition for this song. One of the things that started to happen as I was taking a survey was the popularity of the song was gaining, and perhaps other people who thought that, it didn't go through the normal Hollywood channels were threatened by it and put some pressure on the Oscars. But this is all speculation on my part, and I just want to make sure that people realize that it's all part of God's plan, and He's the one that decided to get it nominated, and eventually it was rescinded, but it brought tremendous attention to the movie. Millions of people heard about it, so that's a real blessing, and I think the Lord is preparing an audience to now see the movie now that they know about the song.
Absolutely. And the story is, it's set back about 1755 when America was kind of a safe haven for families seeking freedom to worship in. And the true story, this is based on the family was fleeing Germany way back then. They're living in a cabin in the woods, and it's during a time when the British and the French and the Indians were all fighting. But this is based on a true story, correct?
Yes, it's a true story of the Leininger family. In particular, the story centers on the two daughters. So, as you said, it's a German immigrant family who were fleeing at that time the perpetual wars in Europe, and they thought they could find some safe haven in the New World, but instead end up in the western frontiers of Pennsylvania, right at the front lines of where the French and Indian War was starting, as the French and the British were in a struggle to take control of the Americas. And so this family were farming, and there was an attack on their home, and the two girls are taken captive and eventually separated. They are 300 miles from home, and a number of years later, Barbara has an opportunity to escape, and she makes a journey 300 miles to try and get home. It's an amazing true story, and one of the few captivity true stories that are that's really well recorded.